Everyone, this is Arun Reddy here. Welcome to my channel Arun Reddy Tech for You. In this video, we are going to cover topic called constructor. So how C++ constructor is used and how we are going to use it. So before going to the topic, if you are new to my video and if you want to learn C++, you can go through my channel playlist. In channel playlist, you will find a playlist called C++ where remaining videos are available. And if you want to learn same C++ in Telugu, there is another playlist called C++ in Telugu where remaining videos are available in Telugu. And not only C++, if you want to learn topics like Power BI, DBMS, C, C++, Python, Excel, VBA, MS Word, PowerPoint, you can also go through my channel playlist. So let us move to our topic. So our topic is constructor in a C++. So let us see what is this constructor is. So see, a constructor is a special member function, C, member function, that is called automatically when an object is created. To create constructor, use the same name as class followed by parentheses. So what you're saying here, see, you can see here, I have taken a small example. In this example, you can see there's a class, my class. Okay. Now my class is a class name. Now in the class, again I am using my class. Right? Now my class, in the my class, this is a constructor and this is a class name. Okay, don't get confused. This is the my class is a class name, and constructor, see, constructor will not have any, what do you say, any return type. Okay, so constructor it has some rules. What are they? Let us see the rules. Okay, so the constructor has the same name as the class name, my class, my class. Constructor has no return type, so it doesn't have any return type. Okay, it is usually declared public. So you can see here in the public, we should declare public. Okay, so the constructor should be declared in the public. Okay, like it is automatically called when object is created. See, you can see here in this example, I am not creating any. Sorry, I am not calling any object. For example, my object dot my class. I am not calling. So once the object is created, automatically constructor will called automatically, right? So you doesn't need to call constructor. Constructor by default, when the object is created, it will be called. Okay, right. So what's the difference between a member function and constructor? Then member function only will work when we call. Okay, but constructor will call by default. Okay, let me give you example, small example, so you can understand it. Okay, before going to that, once again, let me clarify that this is the class name and the class constructor name should be same, and should be in the public, and it should not have any return type, and you doesn't need to call. See, okay, so let me show you example. See, you can see here, this is a normal what's a normal function we call member function, void display, and here we are using constructor. Let us see the difference between both. Okay, so when you write a what you say void display member function, you can write it in public or private. Got the point? You can write it in a public or private, but this side you can see here, it's a constructor. You should write it in a public. Okay, so if you write for private, it's okay, right? Second thing, display. See, display function has a return type void. Okay, so it may have a void, it may have a int, right? But my here in the constructor, it should be same as class name, and it should not have a return type. Okay, it should have a it should be same as class name. It should not have a return type, and it should be declared in the public. And you can also see here, when I create an object, my class object. Okay, so it is not calling member function is not called by the object directly. Okay, so you have to call object dot display. When you create an object, after that object dot display. But when it comes to the what you say constructor, see, just my class object, that's it. You're not saying object dot my class, you're not calling separately. Once it is created, the object is created, by default it will call, right? So when, see, then why we use constructor means whenever we want a program to run, for example, I want to display hello world, or I want to do addition. For example, if I declare int x comma y here, I cannot add the values within the within the data variables. Okay, so I need a member function, right? So to replace member function, we have a class. Now in the class also we can add values, right? We can give the values. For example, x is equal to 5, y is equal to 10. We can assign the values, right? Okay, so in place of member function, we use class, right? So I hope you understood the difference between a member function and class. So once again, let us see the definition. So constructor is a special member function that is called automatically, right? It is called automatically when an object is created. The create a constructor to create a constructor. Use the same name as class followed by parenthesis. Okay, so same name should be there. Class parenthesis there should, parenthesis should be followed by name. Okay, and in that again, what you said, same name. It should not have any return type void like that. It should not. It should be declared in the public. Okay, it cannot be declared in the private or protected. Okay, it is automatically called. See, we are not calling separately. Just like object dot display. Okay, so we are directly once we create object, automatically it will be called. Right. Now let us move types of constructors. Okay, there are three types of constructors. One is default constructor, second one is parameterized constructor, third is copy constructor. So let us see the first one. First one, default constructor. Default constructor do not take any parameters. So for example, if you want to pass any values object in bracket, you want to pass 10 comma 20. Okay, so you cannot pass the values. Cannot pass the values from the object. Okay, so sorry, you are not passing any values. Okay, that one is called as default constructor. If you are not passing any values, the which doesn't have any arguments or which doesn't have any parameters. Okay, so that is called default constructor. You can see here. Here only I am assigning x is equal to here in the data variables I have declared in x comma y and I am assigning x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 20. Right? So display void display C object dot display. Okay, so remember for constructor you doesn't need to call by default when you create object it will be called. Okay. But for void display member function, what we have to do? We have to write object dot display. Then only this will function. This member function will work. So let us see in the Dev C++ how this program works. Okay. Now I am in the Dev C++ and I have taken the same program. Okay. So let me increase the size just so you can see easily. Then let me increase the font size. Let me do as well. Right. Okay, now you can see here what I have done. I have taken a constructor without any values. Okay, passing any values. Okay. So I just created a object. Okay, so whenever I say a object, automatically the values x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 20. Okay. So after that object dot display, that what happens, display will show that addition of two numbers is x plus y. That means 10 plus 20. So let us see. Right. See here I am not calling any constructor. Okay. So I am just calling the member function, but I am not calling constructor. Constructor will be called by default. So let me compile. Okay. And you can see here there is no errors. Okay. So let me run the program. See, addition of two numbers is equal to 30. Nice. Now let us move to the second one, parameterized constructor. Now a constructor with parameters is also known as parameter constructor. For example, you can see here 10, 20. See, I am now we have a arguments. Okay, and you can also see here are int A and int B. Right? Now we are having a arguments, or we can also say as parameters. Right? So these kind of constructors are called as parameterized. If you don't have any arguments or if you don't have any parameters, then it is called as what it is default. Okay, so let us see the difference between both. Okay, so you can see here. So in the default constructor, you can see here when I create object, I am not passing any values. Okay, so you can see here, but here you are passing a values, right? And same way when you pass a values, automatically you can see here, because it's a default parameter and it doesn't any arguments have any arguments. But parameters here we having a when you are creating object, we are passing a 10, 20, and you can see here we have a in AB. Okay, AB is assigned to xy, and after that addition of two numbers is equal to x plus y, that is nothing but a 30. So let us, I hope you understood the difference between a default constructor and parameter. Now let us see the parameter constructor once. Let us execute the parameter constructor and let us see we will get the same output also. Now we are again, we came into the C++, and you can see here I have passed value 10 comma 20, and I have also given a parameters. So this time constructor has a parameters. So that's why we call it as constructor with parameters. Okay, so the same a key value which is 10 will be stored in the x, and b value will be stored in the y, and the addition of 2 is x plus y, that is nothing but 30. Let us see. Compile. Okay. Right, no errors. Run. When I run, see addition of two numbers is 30. See, nice. So we got the same result. Right? So that's the difference between a default parameter and default constructor and constructor with parameter or parameter constructor. Now we are coming to the third one, copy constructor. Now what is this copy constructor? Copy constructor in C++ is used to copy data from one object to another. See here what I have done, I have taken two constructors. One is a in x. Okay, so I have taken this is a parameter constructor, right? Okay, so next time when I'm using a copy constructor. Now how we are creating a copy constructor? Just thing is one thing you have first in bracket. Okay, you have to write constructor name, that is nothing but a class name again, space and variable. Okay. Now what is this and variable and a, what it is means? For example, let me explain it first. Okay, so what happens when you create object a1 20 will be passed in the x value, and the value is equal to x. Now what is value? X is nothing but a 20. So value will be automatically 20, right? So when you print the value, automatically it will be 20. Now what you are doing, already we have created object a1, right? Now a1 is taken as a parameter. Now object name is converted into the parameter. Now everything in the object will be copied into the another object. See, creating another object from a1. Now a1 I am creating another object. Now I don't have any separate values, right? What I'm doing, I'm just copying the a1. Okay. Now as a whole a1 will become as a now a argument or a parameter, right? Now when I am passing, see, I am using and. Okay, so now it will store the address. Okay, so from the address what it will get again, from that what you want to do, val is equal to a dot value. But that means now what is a? Whole a1 is a whole a1 object. What is the a1 object? Here is the constructor. Right? So what is again? A1 dot value is 20. 20 will be stored in the value again. Right? Now what I am printing? A2. In A2 again, what I want, there are there may be lot of things. Suppose I may use x is equal to something, y is equal to something. In the A2, I want value. So what I'm saying, A2 dot value. So it will print as A2 dot value is nothing but what it is, 20. Right? So let us see the program so you can understand easily. Right. So we are now again into the C++. Okay. So as I said, we should see how we can recognize copy constructor. Only difference is class name, space, and variable name. Okay. So that's the main hint. Okay. So class name, constructor name. In the constructor name, again we will have a constructor name and any variable name we can give. So now how? So this is the main symbol. We can recognize that this is a constructor, copy constructor. Right. Now what happens? A1 is equal to 20. Now 20 value will be passed here and value will be stored. Now whole this A is a A1, right? So that one will be copied into the again A to A. Okay, so this one is the copy construct. Now in this again value is equal to A dot value. Now in the A, what is the value? 20, right? So value will store only 20, right? Now again, what I am doing, A2 dot value, I am printing the value, A2 dot value. So this is how copy constructor will work. Copy constructor, what it will do, it will copy the another object, right? So let me run the program and show you. Compile. Very good, no errors. Run. And you can see here 20. Directly I'm getting the 20. Okay, if you want, you can also add the value of a or sorry, value of value, or you can keep a or something. Okay, you can also, directly I'm showing the output, right? So friends, I hope you have understood the video, and if you like the video, please do subscribe my channel and like my video and share my video. Thank you.